Hi everyone, welcome. Now alright, let's get down to the nitty gritty. How much should you be eating to lose weight? Now this is where those of you who are just watching this and are kicking the tires more or less to see what's going on, such that if you were actually here in front of me, in a few moments is where I'd probably see your eyes glaze over with boredom. But for those of you seriously motivated to lose weight, I ask you to pay close attention from this point on. But first, a short anecdote. I was in the gym the other day and I was walking to the room with the treadmills to do my cardio because we were having torrential rains here and I couldn't do my cardio outside. The radio was playing in the gym and there was an advertisement for this new weight loss product. They were claiming that their Wonder Pill was scientifically proven to make you lose 5 to 25 pounds of unwanted fat in 1 week without doing anything else. Now my first thought was, is there a difference between wanted and unwanted fat? And my second thought was, frankly, I don't know how these people can get away with such blatantly false advertising, because what they claim is physiologically impossible. And naturally, in this advertisement, all you had to do was call an 800 number and get a 30-day free trial, after you give them your credit card number, of course. How people can fall for such hogwash is just simply beyond me. Because here's the truth. Doing 30 minutes of cardio at least 5 times a week, adding some strength training, and eating a macronutrient balanced diet of calories slightly below your total daily energy expenditure is the only proven way to lose weight long term and keep it off. Now let's go over some definitions. The first is basal metabolic rate, okay? Or you refer to it as just your BMR. And it's the total number of calories needed by your body just to fuel basic organ functions. It's the number of calories your body will consume if you were to literally lay in bed for 24 hours and do nothing. Second is the activity level, all right? This is the activity you do above and beyond your BMR. This is also expressed in calories. And on the website, the calorie calculator I have, there's going to be 5 different levels of activity. And again, it's expressed in calories. Third is the total daily energy expenditure, or just abbreviated TDEE. This is the sum of your basal metabolic rate plus your activity level, and it is also expressed in calories. Now to find out what your total daily energy expenditure is, or the TDEE, you use the calculator I provide for free on my site. It uses it's based on the Harris-Benedict equation, and it's very scientifically reliable formula. Now by choosing different percents of caloric reductions on this calculator, you can choose the one that would allow for no more than 1 to 1.5 pounds of weight loss per week if your goal is to just lose weight. But a warning here, if you try to lose more than the 1 to 1.5 pounds, then your body will go into starvation mode and become much more energy efficient at saving calories, and it will start catabolizing or breaking down muscle to use for fuel. That's not what you want. Now, regarding the ratios of macronutrients. Alright, first, what are macronutrients? Macronutrients are the 3 main food types: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And the best ratio, in my opinion, and a lot of other experts, is a 50 to 55% carbs, 30% protein, and 15 to 20% fat. Now, why 50 to 55% of calories from carbohydrates? Well, your body uses carbohydrates for immediate energy use, and it can store the excess carbs that have been absorbed for later use in the form of glycogen in muscles and in liver. So those are storage depots for excess carbohydrates. Look at the carbs carbohydrates as the gas in the gas tank in your car. Now once the gas tank is full, the leftover or remaining carbs are converted to and stored as fat. If you run out of carbs for energy, then the body starts using fat. Think of fat as raw crude oil and your body as a refinery. It takes a little time and energy to convert that fat to fuel. So it is a slower process and can lead to fatigue if that's all you have to rely on for energy. So you need the right amount of carbs. You need the right amount of carbs to supply your energy needs, but not have excess leftovers to be stored as fat. And 50 to 55% will meet most people's needs. Now, why 30% of caloric needs from protein? Well, first of all, your body cannot store protein. And protein is one of the building blocks of cells. Because our cells need nitrogen, and protein contains nitrogen. You see, proteins also consist of amino acids, which contain the nitrogen. And if you remember anything at all from your high school chemistry or biology class, you know that DNA and RNA are composed of amino acids. So you can start to see how important protein is to the body. And remember what I just said a second ago. Excess protein that you eat is not stored. However, during an energy shortage in the body, if there's some excess protein floating around from your last meal, it's floating around the bloodstream, the body can convert some of this excess protein into energy by a process called gluconeogenesis. It's an inefficient and slow process for the body. In other words, it's not ideal. Also, keep in mind it takes about 2 to 3 hours to digest a meal. And since your body cannot store protein, then your body is operating without protein if you go longer than 3 hours without it. That is why I recommend that you eat about 6 small meals per day, all containing some protein. Keep in mind that it is much more difficult to lose just fat and fat only without strength training. Because without strength training, your body wants to break down muscle for an energy source as well. That is another reason why you should consume protein with every meal, to keep your body from trying to break down muscle instead of using fat. Now, why 30%? I will admit that there is much controversy regarding how much protein per pound of body weight that is optimal. But here's how I see things. Since the world's best bodybuilders use a variation of the low to moderate carbohydrate diet to achieve their sculpted looks, and we know they're not loading up on fats and are keeping those in the 10 to 20% range, then that leaves protein at around 25 to 30% of calories, which comes out pretty close to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So my rule of thumb is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Let's see an example of how that works using the following example to illustrate a 1 gram per pound body weight diet. Okay, so in our example, we're going to choose a male, and no discrimination against females, I just picked a male. He's 5'9" tall, weighs 175 pounds, and he's 40 years old. And we're going to use our rule of thumb of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Well, a 1-to-1 ratio is 175 grams of protein for his daily consumption of protein. Now, you saw earlier that there's 4 calories per gram of protein. So if you multiply 175 times 4, you get 700 calories daily from protein. Okay, and that 700 calories represents 30% of total calories. So, since we have these figures, and we know that we want a 50, 30, 20 ratio, then we can calculate the rest of the calories and the total calories per day, and the calories from carbs and fats. So if 30% is 700 calories, then 100% is to X calories. This is going to be your total daily calories. You multiply that out, little algebra here. Total calories is 2,333 calories per day. Okay, so now we have this figure. And again, here's your ratios, 50, 30, 20. Since we know that protein is 700 calories, and we know our total daily calories is 2,333, 2,303 times 0.5 or 50% equals 1,167 calories from carbs, and you divide that by 4 because there's 4 calories per gram for carbs, and you get 292 grams of carbs. Same thing with fat. 2,333 times 0.2 equals 467 calories divided by 9, again because there's 9 calories per gram of fat, and you get 52 grams. So you have the total number of grams for proteins, carbohydrates, and fat, okay? And you have the total number of daily calories. Now let's see what that looks like when we punch these numbers into our macronutrient calculator that's provided for free on the website.